Here we go. And we are live. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. I'm Walter, Country 3D, and we are listening to the smooth sounds of jazz from Chris on the drums, Glenn on the bass, and somebody will do vocals because it ain't going to be me. Chris, take it away and tell us what you got, buddy boy.
Hello, everyone. For the second time today, hopefully most of you came back from the stream this morning. I am fully intending to print with this printer today. It is a Foldertech i3 Mega. It took most of the day to build it, but I am happy to be on another Sunday FK-based stream with these two fine gentlemen. I'll let you take it, Glenn.
Hey everybody, I'm Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D, and we can be found pretty much everywhere at Fun King 3D. FunKing3D.com is our main spot to find us. And today I'm not really working on anything yet, but I'm sure I will find a project, and we'll see what happens.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. Since I'm hosting, I get to go down. I'm just going to use the list, guys. I'm going to hit the participants right now. We're going to go down it that way because it's way too long for me to do otherwise. I'll get lost. Oh, no, I can't do that. There's not even like 15 people on there. All right, so we got Chris Goulart, Michael Fox, Andrew S., 3D&D Maker, which is Mr. Joe Paddock. Robbie Mack is here. 3D Medic Vince. If I say your name twice, it's my fault, not yours. Don't do anything drastic. Work for 3D Filament. Gunnar Fryer. Glenn Hogue is in the house. Let's go on down here and see if we can find anybody new. Eggy the Tech. Nappin's in here. 3D Printing Llama. Bryce Schwartzwelder's in the house. Matt Johnson. Darren Anton. Apocalypse Survivor. If I miss anybody, y'all jump in and smack me. I'm still going. Ronnie Julian's in the house. Patrick Nijenhoff's in the house. Tony Ryan's in here. He said he's first, even though I done read through like 50 names. Techie Dad's in the house. Epic Tutorials. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. I'm assuming your first time because I've never seen Epic Tutorials in here. Everybody can welcome him. HVAC A to Z. Robert Reynolds. Tristan. The Edge of Tech, Bob S., 3D Homebrew, welcome, James Johnson, wait, 3D Mark's in the house, Carl Schoenman, Mitch H., Casa del Wacos, Grandpa Joe 3D, Ollie Reedy, Jay Hughes, the Guinness, or the Guinness, the Guinness, 3D Maker Kid, Mapro 6, James Bird, Clint, Betty, Jay Hughes, Dwayne S., and I'm at the end. We made it through the chat, boy.
Should we do our outros now?
And the stream is
I know, right?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
John Cook come in after that and said, "Good afternoon, all. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. Well, you'll have more fun than hog in a hog waller."
Oh, there's got to be a better way to compile that list.
I know, right? I still hadn't written that software. There it is. There's got to be.
Sean Cook. I mean, their API has to support it, or maybe Nightbot will pick it up. I don't know, but
that's the thing. I bet we could go to Nightbot and give it 30 seconds or whatever, and let it just pick everybody.
Let it pick all the active.
Yeah.
Anybody that's active in the chat. That might be a good way to do it. We might want to try that.
Y'all have to excuse me. I've got PLA melting all around me because it's like 105 degrees in here. Somebody did not turn the AC on this morning. Welcome from England, Simon Chiswell. Oh, we had Trolling for Dollars and Never Let the Machine Win, and Sean Gould came in as well.
Tony Ryan said, "Look at that, old Xander's at Walter's place."
That's right. God dang it, boy.
Yeah, no special guests today.
Well, listen, I got a couple things in the mail that I do want to show off. This is courtesy of the Community Catch-Up. I won on their drawing a little bit ago, and they sent this to me, and I don't even have any idea what this is. This is Ziltech 3D Printing Filament PLA Fluo Blue is the name of it. FLUO. Is that Fluo Blue, or is that fluorescent blue?
Probably fluorescent blue.
I would think it would be short for fluorescent. Chris got out of the basement.
Nobody knows how to spell the word fluorescent, so you just get a.
It is a pretty. Oh, and they check that out. That's a first. They bubble wrapped inside the box. It's bubble wrapped and shrink wrapped. I don't need the bubble wrap. It's just blue.
Ronnie Julian, that Fun King 3D shirt was hand delivered to Mr. Joel at New York Maker Faire in
2017.
Way back in 17.
I barely remember that, Sonny. Oh, damn, I about squished a lizard. Hey, but this other box I got over here, I have got to show y'all these because these are friggin' fantastic. And we're going to bring them out one. Chris, where you at?
I'm right here.
Oh, you got to see the screen. And Glenn, too. Look at that.
Ooh.
How
Okay.
Is that your album cover? Oh, it's the end of the rep box.
Wait, let's bring the other one in. Check that out. How shiny is that?
Pretty nice, man, I have to say.
That's freaking awesome. And I'll tell you, I did not know. I thought they were all wood with like stickers on them. These are not. These are UV printed metal.
Yeah, it's dye sublimation.
Yeah, he powder coats the white and then dye sublimates the rest of it, I think. They are freaking awesome. I will tell you that.
He does have access to some pretty cool toys.
He does. He absolutely does. Carl Schumann, that printer copier is jamming. It is working very well. It is all hooked up wireless in my house. And we can use it. And it had 82%, said it had about 4,000 sheets left to print.
Wow.
Yeah.
I watched that hangout you had back where you were messing with that printer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was sitting there in the trash can. I'm like, hey, can I have that? Because if nothing else, you get some smooth rods and some motors and, maybe something else in there or something,
Yeah.
And brought it home, plugged it in on that stream, and it has worked ever since. I don't know why they threw it away. Other than the little thing being broken on the paper feeder.
Yeah, they hit print once and nothing came out, so it was obviously garbage.
That was obviously broken.
Chris Gulata wants to know if that's the Stargate, Walter.
Chris Culata, I was talking about you before the stream. I said I made you a mod today, but I was going to take it away if you mention that Stargate one more time. I mean, I appreciate you staying on me about it, but it's like my wife. I'll start a project. You don't have to remind me every 6 months to get it done. I'll finish it.
Every 6 months.
You're right. I doubt they ever see my channel, Michael Fox. The women at the vet's office probably never look at my channel. There you go. I can run IoT on my printers. All right, Hardman. That sounds good. So, Chris, I don't see it printing yet.
It's there was no firmware on the board. It was a blank board, so it is uploading right now.
So you bought a printer kit with no firmware on the board.
Yep. This was the kittiest kit that I have put together in a long time.
I was going to say that's like hardcore kit right there.
Yeah, this is grab some parts, throw them in a box, mail them to Chris Riley.
This is we're gonna give you the parts to build it, but you figure out how to make the damn thing run.
Yeah. It should be a 3D printer sometime if you put it like this. We're not sure, but maybe.
You build it and then let us know how it went so that we can tell other people how to do it.
James Johnson, Chris said send Walter the barefoot. Or James Johnson said, Chris, send Walter the barefoot pictures.
I will. They're pretty funny. He actually made bare feet to go on the bottom. You got to have some.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Brooks kit was better. I don't know what Brooks kit is. Steppers.
That'd be the printer bot.
Oh, the printer bot. I got you.
Yeah, I feel like I should be working on something. I just I didn't line anything up for the stream. I was goofing around playing Minecraft all day.
Just come over here next door and put this wrap box together for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my instructions got torn in half. I guess it's instructions. No, it's just a thank you. They didn't even want to thank me properly, so they just cut it.
The instructions are online.
Yeah. Side panels are custom seal kit with a wall mount. Woohoo! I can mount it outside. Gunner Fryer, I disagree. Some people just don't want to learn anything about printing. They just want to print. Now, damn it, they need a kit so they can print.
Oh, Tony Ryan, it's actually sitting right here. It's in its new home right next to me. I don't have a camera on it yet, but it's here. I got the 2 additional stepper motors for it for the Z, and I got the couplers. I'm just waiting on the rods to come in stock, and I may end up scrapping these ball screws and just going to a regular lead screw. You know, like an Acme lead screw. Now that there's going to be 4 of them and they're going to be tucked into the corners. Actually, truly what it comes down to is now that I see 3D's 4-foot by 4-foot by 4-foot printer runs on just regular 8mm lead screws.
Yeah, right. But that's on every axis, right?
Well, that one is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one's got the really aggressive. It had the really aggressive lead screws on it.
Yeah,
but
the pitch on it for the speed.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
They just knew the printer was going to the Chris Riley and figured you would be more fulfilled with the challenge of putting it together and figuring out the firmware. And they're right.
Yep.
Y'all don't understand. When Chris first got the Duet Wi-Fi, he was like, I don't know if I like all this. This does too much for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly how I felt when the Mark III came out. I was like,
Yeah,
really?
you're like, that's right.
It's
I
too
remember
easy.
that. It's too easy to print good.
Yep.
You sound like Gunner Frere. They should all come that way. Everybody should have to learn. Or Fry. Is it Frere or Fryer? I don't know. No, the grandkids have not left yet. They will not leave until Thursday. That's why I'm not streaming again this week.
They will not leave until all the food in the house is gone.
We've already had to go buy food.
Hey, so Walter, I was checking my my optical end switches. I hooked them up into an Arduino Uno, and I made a little testing rig using my caliper, and I got good ones. They're pretty accurate.
That's good. Now the problem is they all have the same flag, right?
Well, they don't have any flag yet at all. I haven't designed it yet.
Oh, Chris. We don't need that electro music going on in the background.
Sorry.
This ain't no discotheque.
I was trying to spice up your day.
I don't need it spiced up. I need to sleep.
We definitely have some motors stall out.
Oh, yeah. Best learning printer is the ANET A8. I have to say yes, Michael Fox. That's been the best learning printer I've had. I have been on the Prusa community forums, and yes, you are correct. People still have issues or trouble getting the Mark III to run even the first print. Normally, it's kits, though. Shut up, Nappin. Glenn Nappin said you can sleep when you get old.
What's that?
Glenn Nappin said you could sleep whenever you get old, and then he said, wait, never mind. Oh, look, we got the whole Friday 3D printing community hangout in here. How many people does that count for?
The whole entire community is here. I'll tell you, there is 100 watching, 101 watching right now.
Oh, well, the peak concurrent says we only had 98, so, you know. But, hey, I do want to say this again. I say it all the time, but I appreciate everybody that's here. I mean, it's awesome that they show up and hang out. That's right, Mitch H. You are correct.
It still amazes me every time I get on a stream and there's people that show up.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Not just 100, but any of them.
Yeah.
The Guinness, that's kind of like wild turkey, ain't it? 101.
I do want to show off this sweet little dog right here, though. This is I don't know if is it Elegoo or Elego. The way it's spelled, it's goo, but I've heard people say it both ways, and so I don't know one way or the other. But this is their smart robot car kit version 3, and it was a blast to build. The only complaint that I have for this thing is that like it can do multiple things. Like it can be an object sensing robot. It can be remote control by your phone. It can be infrared remote control. It can be it'll follow a line. If you draw a line on paper, it'll follow the line. But you have to reflash the Arduino depending on what you want it to do. So you can't just go from one model to the next, or one mode to the next to the next. You have to re-upload to the Arduino every time.
You know, you could rewrite the code so that you could just set a jumper and it would go from mode to mode, right?
I don't know if there's enough room for the
code.
Yeah, it's a lot of code.
Oh, I can imagine.
So, plus then I'd have to put forth some effort.
Hey Tristan, I know you waited from Thursday. Wait, I wasn't even on Thursday, dude. I don't think, was I? Was I on Thursday?
Sorry.
That does not sound pleasant at all.
You just have to be careful. Glenn's going to break down into dancing here in a minute to that music that you're playing. Oh, there you go, Llama. There you go. There's your thumbnail.
Do the robot.
Have to zoom in on Glenn. But yeah, I said that when I got off my last stream, I wasn't streaming on Saturday. And I'm going to tell you now, it will be Sunday before I get back on another stream. Because Saturday we already have an appointment that's going to take up pretty much most of the day. And since I know she doesn't watch, I can tell you what it is. My daughter's car motor just kind of puked all in the engine compartment. So I'm going to take it really quick to trade it in on something that she can get around in. And that's Saturday. So hopefully it doesn't completely blow up the motor before Saturday. Did I see movement in Chris's printer? Did you move something, Chris?
Yeah, it's moved. The X and Y are moving just fine. Z's got problems. I muted my mic so I didn't sing for you. The printer didn't sing for you for that time.
As crooked as that bar is across there, it might just be jammed.
Yeah, it's definitely got a few different issues going here. I'm trying to figure if this motor is actually turning at all.
Jay Hughes asks, anyone have advice for a total noob? Linear rails or rods and bushings for a hypercube build? Want accuracy and quietness.
Rail core.
Now, well, I've never done a hypercube, so I don't know if you can use linear rails, but anytime you can get by using linear rails over rods and bushings, you're always going to be better off for accuracy and quietness.
And I can tell you now, Jay Hughes, yes, you can do a Hypercube Evo with linear rails. The plans are out there.
Or both like a hybrid.
What language is that even?
What?
Cark on the track. I don't know what language that is. I had to go to translate to see what he said. But sometimes it's not being ugly, it's just their language.
Right.
Let's go paste it in the translate. Samoan sugars. Is that right? Is that correct? Cark on the track, sugars.
Sugars.
Da na 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 na. Oh, honey. Oh, and no, he's asking me about my vape. Don't erase it yet, Chris Goodlaw. Let's see what we got here.
Demonetized just for that singing.
Yeah, no, it's better than happy birthday. Yeah, nope. We can ban him right now. Hide user on this channel. See ya.
Oh, I wanted to read it.
I'm going to give it to you in English on the chat.
Okay. I wasn't quick enough. My rail core is louder than my Prusa's.
That's not what I just pasted in the chat.
No, I was reading.
Oh,
V-rails will be quieter than linear rails. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, we just need to let people know you're not even getting away with that in Samoan.
I don't even think that's English.
Wheels are way quieter than linear rails or LMUs. Well, that may be true.
Depends which rail you have, I guess.
Hey, Gunner Fryer, I don't know what you said either, but I'm gonna find out. And that's the last one I'm translating. We'd write
let's not even start that because.
Yeah, if you like to translate, you'll enjoy it. No, I don't enjoy it. I do it to see if they're saying something they shouldn't be. And he was.
And now he isn't with us anymore.
That is correct. He's sleeping with the fishes. Hey, we should just lock it on Chris and just watch Chris.
That's fine.
It'd be fun if we could.
What the hell are you eating? What is all that orange stuff over there on the table?
What?
What are those orange things on? What is that? Behind your coffee cup.
Oh, Mark Greco?
Oh, yeah, what is that?
It's an extruder, a visualizer of me falling down the stairs.
Oh, I thought it was. I saw you eating the M&Ms or whatever they are on the table. I thought that was a whole bunch of damn M&Ms.
I wish it was. That'd be pretty awesome.
My Misfits here. Stephen the Lightspeed, Hack Monkey, you and Todd. Yeah, haha, you made me translate. Part 2 of Chris's Basement. That's right, Chris Gulata, it is.
The evening edition.
DZ Guinness asks, what's that box on the right side back? Okay. Who? Glenn, do you have a box on your right side back?
I have Maker Box.
That would be Maker Boxes, would it not?
And an Alien 3D box and a box from IC3D with a love note on it.
I got a whole bunch of boxes over there. Yeah, but it was a love note to somebody else, wasn't it?
No. My love note went to somebody else.
Oh, that's right.
That customer is either a customer now for life
or is completely freaked out.
Sweet, Techie Dad. That sounds cool, man. TK's 3D prints. Low Country. You're right. I love me a Low Country boy. Woo! Man. Oh, Low Glenn and Low Chris, too. I don't know what those are.
That's short for hello.
Oh. Because it's so much easier than saying, what's up?
Uncle Ron said, hi, honey, I'm home. What did I miss? Not much.
Ron, you were at work all day today. I was here slaving away. I hope you're happy.
You miss Glenn dancing?
3D Maker Kid wants to know what would be a cheap way to put a clear door on the front of my new enclosure.
Saran wrap.
Yeah, if you want it to be clear, you're just gonna have to go get a piece of acrylic from the box store. If you want a cheap door and it doesn't have to be clear, use that foam project board you get at the dollar store.
He said really cheap. Saran wrap is pretty damn cheap.
You weren't lying.
I promise you, it's probably the cheapest enclosure you can make for a printer.
Depending on how much insulation you need on how many times you wrap it.
Right. How clear you want it. I hope you knew I was kidding about the saran wrap. Don't go wrapping saran wrap around your printer.
It will work.
Well, it will if it's like a hypercube, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if you wrapped it around like the X carriage on that printer you got there, it wouldn't work much.
Yeah, well, there is that.
What's the thoughts on the TiVo Tarantula Pro? And I'm gonna have to say I don't have one. I've heard
is this the one that's supposed to be coming out at $200? Like TiVo just posted that printer that it's supposed to be coming out at $200 with this long list of really top-notch hardware. But then they had another tweet that came out and it made it sound like that's it if it's fully upgraded.
Yeah.
You know, like if you buy all their upgrades for it. So I'm not really sure. It felt a little bait and switch, but I got to be completely honest. I don't have a really great, not relationship, but feeling about TiVo ever since the whole thing went down with Tom Sandlatter. Hey, I got his last name right.
Hey. That's a win for today.
That is. He still can't. Hey, he still can't say Slick 3R correctly though.
I don't know what this Slick 3R you're talking about. Are you talking about Slicer?
Old people get tongue tied when they try to say Slick 3R.
I have not had. I mean, I had a TiVo Tornado, and it was okay. It was not my favorite printer. And my personal preference, I think the Creality machines are a little better.
I think Mike Whaley's made a living out of upgrading his.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I don't see every stream, but I think damn near every morning he's doing something to that TiVo or something.
Yep.
Hodge. Wait. Can you say hello, Mr. Pula? Pula? It's a friend from Russia. He's watching. Hey. Hey, from Florida. Apples Up North is in the house, too. I missed him a while ago. I was going to say something. Jay Hughes. The basic new TiVo machine is $200. Okay. What happened to Thomas? Glenn? Stanlater.
Oh! As far as I guess people don't know that story, huh? So they sent Tom a printer for review without checking with him first. Just sent it to him. It showed up with customs due on it.
Oh yeah.
I forget what the amount was. It was like a couple $100 or something. And so he publicly shamed him for just sending him something and you know, making him have to pay the customs on it. And so they sent him $1,000. You know, here's $1,000 in your PayPal to cover the inconvenience. Because he was talking about how like you can't just send me a printer for review. I don't necessarily have time for it. Well, here's a little money to make up for the customs and you know, help you find some time to review our printer. So
Gunner said, I hope somebody is here from A&E or something. They'll put Walt on TV in a second. They already did a show like that.
Swamp People?
Well, no. We'd have to go with the Duck Commander guys.
Oh, no. You're not that good. You'd be on Swamp People.
No, them Swamp People guys, they reach down in the water grabbing live alligators. That's just dumb. I guess we got Chris Gulata hit it, but
yeah.
Good looking honky.
Yeah, just let it go.
Just let it go, man.
Just let it go.
We've seen that one before.
Oh yeah,
A long time ago.
Hey, I did go noodling, Ron. I went noodling one time with a 250-pound guy, and I weighed like $125, and he about drowned his butt trying to grab a catfish, and then he's like, "Get in the water and do it." I said, "You're an idiot. No, you weigh 250, and he about held you under the water. I'm not getting in the water and sticking my hand down no catfish's mouth."
Oh, please, Walter, don't ever say that you went noodling with a 250-pound guy.
Glenn, did you spit your drink everywhere? I didn't say noodling. I said noodling.
Noodling.
Oh,
Yeah, Mitch, you're right. Glenn's got a mind that just goes somewhere sometimes. We don't understand it, but it does.
Well,
If this wasn't, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, if this wasn't a family-friendly show, we could get off on the rails now. I'm gonna tell you, in a
we
hurry.
already went off on the rails.
No, we was talking about catching catfish. I don't know what you were thinking. Oh, you and Todd said he can't breathe. They got oxygen for that.
All right, that guy's gone. Gone. See ya.
What's up, Robot Hut? Oh, did he post another message after that?
Yep. In fact, two. One came in just as I dumped him.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Nappin said, breathe, Glenn.
Oh, yeah.
And you and Todd said he's got a few inhalers too.
So I had the pleasure of spending the day on Friday at SeaWorld, which is the first time that I've been to SeaWorld in long time, like before Xander was born. And I can't say that I will hurry to go back.
Hey, everybody, it's Joe from Project Red.
Well, we think it's Joe from Project Red.
Oh, that's true.
It could be the whole entire Project Red team.
Matt Davenport said, hey, y'all, what did I just walk into? Glenn was thinking about noodling with a 250-pound man.
No, it's not even.
Now, y'all know we talking about catching catfish. And if y'all don't understand how noodling works, you go down in the water and you reach into a hole and you grab it by the guts and you pull it out.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Glenn's crying now. We done got Glenn's tickle box turned on. We'll get Chris in a minute. Chris will be crying in the basement.
I'm so glad this is your channel and not mine.
I know, man. I know. I'm sorry. I try not to do this on your channel. And I didn't even do nothing. We're talking about catfishing.
Then you need to call it catfishing. Of course, even catfishing isn't catfishing anymore.
The thing about it is, they do that stuff up there around where Chris lives. I'm surprised he hadn't ever done it.
All right, no, I've never done it. I've seen a lot of guys do it, but I've never done it.
Is this some swamp stream that crazy swamp guy Larry done took over? I'm sorry, Glenn. I didn't mean to make you cry today.
I can't breathe.
I don't know why he thinks it's so funny.
No, him being discombobulated about it is making it more funny.
Oh.
Glenn, TK's 3D print says he's there with you, Glenn. He knows why you're giggling. And Tristan didn't make it any better. He said they call it tickling.
Oh.
No, Mitch H, that's not even close. Fun. Llama said it's the fun in the country basement stroke.
Oh.
Whew. You know what? That's why we have these streams. Oh, Lord of mercy. Uncle Ron just took it down.
Oh, yeah, that's a little too far.
We can't go down that road.
That's a road you can't come back from.
No, you cannot.
Oh.
Nappin said he needs his inhaler too.
Yeah.
That's right, you and Todd.
Nappin's still shaking over the wire mess.
Do you buy a catfish dinner afterwards?
No, but you do give it a cigarette. You send that model to Glenn and only to Glenn.
What's
that?
That
one doesn't need to go on Thingiverse.
Oh yeah, let's not go there.
You bring yourself. Come on, Tony. You can tell her, or just rewind the video and let her watch for a minute. That's true, you and Todd. That is correct. Nappin said he's lucky your picture's tiny, Chris. That's all right, Nappin. We can make sure that you see. I'm gonna put it on just Chris for a minute, just for Nappin.
Here you go, Nappin. This is just the stuff that I cut off.
There you go.
It's not locked on Chris.
It's not. Well, only on yours because you're.
Yeah. Never mind. On the actual stream, it is.
Yeah. No, I locked it on him for just a few minutes, just for Nappin.
That's good.
Just for Nappin.
I can turn the fan on and get my color back.
No, man, it's still hot in here. I've had that AC running since 3:37-ish, about an hour, and it's not big enough. It's a 5,000 BTU. It is just not big enough for the temperatures we've got right now. Ooh, I was trying to unlock off of Chris, and I was almost hitting the stop broadcast button. That'd been a short stream, 37 minutes in. Mitch H said he hopes you didn't buy that machine, Chris.
Hope that what?
You didn't buy that machine?
Yeah, I bought it.
And what was the retail on that one, if you don't mind?
$350. This is the one that they announced at ERF last year to try to compete with the CR10. And that's after we were at ERF. That's when I picked one up just to see what it was like, and I never got around to building it. So
question now: does it compete with the CR10?
No, it's not even close to a CR10 really. Especially if it keeps doing what it's doing now.
I don't understand why these manufacturers think that it is acceptable to build a frame out of, T slot or V slot and then put smooth rods for the bed.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
This one's got a lot of interesting choices on it. And it's going to have some grease.
I got to ask Glenn why.
Because that distance on a smooth rod, you end up getting flex in there. As where if they used the extrusion, which is already there, it would be a lot more solid.
But there's not extrusions in the middle. You'd have to add more to it.
Yes. Or you could use the ones that are already there. I mean, you could use the ones on the side.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could wheel it in from the inside this way.
I guess you could.
I don't know.
We should start a printer company, Glenn. That's the way it is.
I don't want to be a printer manufacturer. I just want to get the parts for mine and get that thing back fired up.
James Johnson, that's the question for Chris. Chris would have to answer that question.
What's up?
I'm not going to ask the question. You're going to have to read that in chat. James Johnson, all caps on the name.
Can it noodle? I don't know. It can sing.
Yeah, Joe said the extra extrusion would be cheaper than the rods.
Probably. Well, there you go. Andrew S. said not if they're 12 millimeter rods.
True, but they never use 12 millimeter rods.
An absolute fact.
They're always 8s, and you're lucky to get that.
But let me ask you this now: with how much sag are you actually going to get on a 32 centimeter rod that's 8 millimeters thick when there's 2 of them supporting it?
Okay, well, my hands-on experience is taser face.
Yeah, but taser face is garbage.
And it was a lot of flex. That
Really?
whole scenario was garbage. Well, and I suppose a lot of it's going to have to do with the Y plate as well, because the Y plate on that thing was so thin that it would give under the tension of the bed screws,
right?
Which was then flexing the rods, which was causing the whole bed to move like that.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, because like on the normal ones, you've got 4 inches between your bearings. Okay, so where it's actually sitting at,
right?
And you've got normally it's a 3 millimeter plate is your Y carriage bed. So I mean, it's going to take a lot to flex over a 4 inch span. You know what I mean?
Right. But again, Taserface has a very thin. For you, those who don't know, Taserface is the ANET the E12.
And that's what Mitch is saying. The ANET E12 had 8mm smooth rods, and it was garbage. But I
Yeah.
think it had a lot to do with the plate as well, Glenn.
Yeah, that H plate that was underneath there was so thin that when I tried to use, and I always forget the name of it, but that jack that the guy designed for on the CR10 to push the middle of the CR10 bed up, I put one of those in there. All it did was push the H plate down.
Yeah, Sean Butler, the E16, to me and Glenn both, it looks just like the E12. It just looks like they put 16 on it instead of 12. I mean, isn't that what you saw in the book, Glenn? When you
The
looked
16? Yeah, it looks, it pretty much looks like they changed the name to get people to buy it.
Right. It looks, I mean, it looks identical to the E12. So, yeah.
I was trying to find my Annette book. It's like having the Sears Christmas wish catalog. Oh, I wish that I didn't have one of those.
Right.
I still haven't gotten resin for my my resin printer yet.
You need to get on that.
Yeah, so here's for those of you who haven't seen it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see that picture, but that's the E16, and from this picture, it looks like they put a secondary aluminum plate on the bed. So, and maybe if I do this, we'll be able to. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like they actually sandwiched, like it's got the regular heat bed and then there's a second aluminum plate sitting on top of that. They added a 90-degree corner bracket that the E12 didn't have. But otherwise, no, it looks... I mean, the belt tensioner, the way the smooth rods are mounted, the control box, it all looks.
But to be fair, if you were spanning that same distance with 2 linear rails, would you not have the same problem?
No, because linear rails are way, 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 way more rigid.
You think so?
Yes.
Than an 8mm rod the same length?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But everywhere I've seen linear rails, they're supported most of their length. So I don't know. I've got some somewhere. I've got to look them up.
Well, I know when I started the whole FK1 project, I wanted to know if a 2040 was going to be sufficient for the span. And so I don't know if you guys can see, there's a 2040 up against that cabinet right there. I actually got it and put it up on blocks and was measuring the deflection, and it was pretty impressive the weight that it would hold before it would.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Not if ANET makes the linear rail.
but Knappen also said not a chance a linear rail with a 2020 profile will not flex on that distance. Yeah, and Llama 2, I think it should be supported. Yeah, I mean, I would say it have to be supported.
A linear rail with a 2020 profile will not flex on that distance. That's correct. It won't. I mean,
it said not a chance. Not a chance. A linear rail with a 2020 profile will not flex on that distance. Now,
okay, so he's going to have to. That was kind of a double negative. He's going to have to clarify: is he saying it will flex or will not flex? Because a piece of 2020 this long is not going to flex. I mean, it's going to flex. It's going to flex. You couldn't, stand on it or drive a car on it. It will flex, but not the same as a 8mm smooth rod.
Well, and everybody's saying you still need to support it. You still need to support it over that distance. I will tell you this: the only problem I have with my Hypercube Evo right now is the 2020 extrusions that I printed, because they flex very badly.
Yeah, I could see that in plastic, absolutely.
Yeah, the 3030s, not so much.
Joe is asking the question that I was going to ask, because I would like clarification on, are we talking about aluminum extrusion or are we talking about linear rail? Like, because some people refer to extrusion as linear rail as well. But
I think Knappen was saying that you could put a linear rail on an extrusion, the distance from front to rear for an X carriage, and it does sag just like a rod will.
if I take, I mean, this is 2040, but which, you know, is obviously going to be a little bit stronger, but even this span right here, which is about 2 feet, there's very.
Oh yeah. And if
I mean,
you turn it on its edge, it's never going to flex.
Oh yeah, no, not at this length. You barely even know it. But so a 2020 in the distance of a 300 millimeter bed printer, a 2020 is not going to have enough flex to affect it. An 8 millimeter rod in that distance has enough give that it could screw up your bed leveling.
I'm thinking he asked what the load rating was for your bed.
A small child.
Okay. Yeah. Knappen said it will not sag with the 2020 extrusion, but if you use a linear rail alone, you will have some flex.
Oh yeah. Well, linear rail, first of all, is solid. Solid material always flexes more than hollow material, but it's also drilled full of holes. So I don't think linear rail itself is really made to be by itself and rigid. It absolutely has to be supported.
Yeah, no, that's right. I guess it's Joe on Project Red, but that's if it's on its side. If you're laying it flat, it's going to flex.
We've done testing. 400 millimeters MGN 12 will not have enough deflection to write home about if it's supported on each end.
Yeah, that's when it's standing up, though. You're not going to tell me 400 millimeter linear rail, which is a flat piece of.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the spec on MGN 12 is.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that's why we do it that way on the rail core. They're standing up on the rail core. Yeah, I could see that, you and Todd. I could see where carbon fiber would work. I know, Tristan. I know. We're making content, man. That's what this channel's all about.
Well,
Talk stuff out. We can't just add an extrusion in the middle of the discussion and say, okay, we're done.
No, well, not only that, but you know, the extrusion may not fit there. There might be something in the way, like the power supply.
That's correct. Or Chris's wiring.
Yeah.
That is a lot of wiring on that printer.
That is.
I like to add a lot of extra.
But now you have seen Chris's things when he mocks stuff up, right?
Oh, man.
He's controlling 3 lights and he's got like 90 wires. This one goes over to steal my neighbor's power, and this one goes over to my other neighbors to get some cable.
And I needed every one.
Every one, just to get the light to turn on.
That's right.
I used to love that when you get those scientific kits and they make you go through like 15 resistors to turn on a light bulb or something. You're like, why can't I just stick the wires straight to it? It'll turn right on.
I love those kits, man.
The one that I got Xander years ago, it's that snap circuits. That thing was really cool. It's, you know, like the resistors and everything are mounted on plastic and they snap together. So those were really cool. And now they have an Arduino module for it as well.
I think we should all go back to the little spring kits where you just bent the spring over sideways, stuck the wire in it, and let it go.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
I
had a crystal radio, an AM crystal radio that was like that.
I got in so much trouble because I couldn't get down out of the tree once I ran the wire up there like they said to do in the picture.
I ran mine out the window and down to the copper water pipe that ran the hose bib outside.
Yeah, no, I took mine outside and I just ran it straight. I climbed up the tree and got to the top. And I tied it all off. Went to get down and it was too long between one of the branches that I had made it up easy. I think I was like 7 or 8. My dad's out there yelling at me, "Get your out of the tree." I finally got coached down with thread of the belt.
The belt will get you down every time.
Yep. Sean Butler said if Chris uses 90 wires, then it needs 90 wires.
Chris Riley is the Chuck Norris of 3D printing.
Then that printer should be running already because it should be scared.
Yeah.
Chris is using RGB LEDs. So that's 9 wires per LED.
Per
LED. Does 4 rails make a big enough difference over 2 rails to do it? What? On the y-axis, does 4 rails make a big enough? I don't need 4 rails.
Y-axis core XY style, i.e. hypercube. Well, I don't fully understand the question, but yes, the more rails, the more rigid it's going to make it. But that's not really the best way to go about it.
Then you're approaching an over-engineer situation that's probably going to cause more issues than it's going to solve.
Yeah, it's pretty much throwing money away for no reason when you could just put the right thing in there and be done with it.
Right. Yeah, Ronnie Julian said they have a 201 kit on eBay.
Nice.
Dude, I don't need any more kits. I've got an MMU2S that needs to be put together. I've got a bear down below here that needs to be put together.
I think he's talking about electronic kit.
Oh, he is. But I've got a rep box that needs to be put together and a friggin' Stargate. I've got enough kits to be put together.
Well, then you should probably be doing something.
I need Chris to come visit for a day or two.
That's what I need is some more kits to put together.
Work for 3D Filament. I don't know why your name is showing something different, man. You won't say what? I know. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take your wrench away if you do.
Chris, how rigid does the Folger Tech feel?
The frame is actually pretty nice. I mean, it's 30-30. I mean, the corner plates are acrylic, but the frame portion feels pretty good.
Even with acrylic, once you tighten those corners down, I mean, there's really no stress on them.
Well, yeah, the way that the load is placed on the outside, on the face like that, vertically on that acrylic, they're real tight. I mean,
you always know that you tighten the acrylic enough when it cracks.
Right, exactly.
That's when you stop.
That's the nice thing about acrylic. It always tells you when it's tight enough.
Napping, I don't know. I didn't take no wrenches away from anybody as far as I know. I don't know if you ever had a wrench on here, bud.
Work for 3D Filament says someone's hacking our stream. That'd be fun.
Someone's hacking our stream. What?
I don't know.
How's the bear going? It's growling underneath the table.
Let's talk about that bear build for a minute, because like I never knew what the bear build was, and now like for some reason it's gotten really popular and a lot of people are doing them.
It's an AM8.
Huh?
It's an AM8.
That is exactly what I was gonna say.
That's what it is.
I mean, it is. It looks exactly like my AM8 for 10 times the money.
I took apart my build to build the bear kit, but mine was just a bigger bear is all it was. All I needed to do was cut off a couple of pieces of extrusion and make it the right size.
Yeah.
It's just specific for the Prusa because you can run I think the Prusa firmware just runs on it because all the bed and everything's in the right place.
Huh.
Well, my hypercube has 1 rod on each side of the Y, and then it's got 2 on the X. So, I mean, you can run the 2 on the Y if you want to. It really depends on how big you're going. If you're going 500 millimeters, I would say 2.
Well, just remember that you can over-constrain things, too. So Work for 3D Filament says someone is hacking us, but can you explain to us what you see?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what you see.
We see your avatar and Work for 3D Filament, and then your comments. I'm thinking if there's anything going on, you've probably got some malware running in your computer locally.
Yeah, because when I pull up the live stream, it's just our live stream. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm watching.
Yeah.
So
I see nothing. Oh, your name is changing? That could be your local, man. Just
yeah,
going from account
you've
to
got
account.
something. You need to get some malware bites on your machine in a hurry. Oh, hey, look, we got a visitor that's gonna go bye-bye.
Why? What's the point, really? I mean, was that much fun? Seriously.
They're just dumb. Dang, me, you, and Chris got him all at the same time.
Yeah, I ended up unhiding him because you guys hit him right as I was clicking it, and it unhit him. So then I had to go back and rehide him.
Oh.
Yeah, work for 3D Filament. Make sure that all your stuff is up to date. I actually run Malwarebytes and Avast Antivirus at the same time. They work well together. But yeah, it's not doing anything on our side. So something's got to be maybe a plugin in your browser that's gone rogue.
I got a question for y'all, and y'all probably seen it on Twitter. What do y'all think about this guy who's thumbing his nose at all these designers he's stealing and selling their stuff?
Oh yeah, and when they call him out on it, he's like, "So
what are you mad? I'm making money and you're not."
I'm just I'm angry because I didn't think about it first.
Right? All that money I could have made, shoot.
No, I mean, what a jerk to do something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
But the thing is again, it's a really gray area because technically, if I want to sell a 3D printed item and charge for my time and materials, I can do that. Now, in that process, I have to give attribution for who created the model.
Right.
But then how do you know? I mean, what's to say that, okay, so you and I each decide to do this, and it turns out to be the same model. You're selling it for $20, and I'm selling it for $200.
Right.
Because I feel my time is worth more than yours. You know, like,
yeah,
it's too much of a gray area. So
that's what aggravates me. Well, the thing is, even if he'd come back and say, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing that," I'll give you attribution. Or if he'd have been any type of remorseful whatsoever.
Oh no, he knew what he was doing was wrong.
Oh, exactly. He knew it from the get-go, and that's what pisses me off so bad.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I don't know what his name is. Some dude from Houston, Texas.
I can't remember, but it's no different than anything else. I don't want to give him.
Right.
Even if I knew what his name was, I wouldn't say it out loud. Why give him the recognition?
Nah, TK, he's got an Etsy store, and he's selling on Facebook, and he's selling on eBay.
There was a person on Thingiverse that took a paid-for STL and posted it for free on Thingiverse. That's actually happened a couple of times. Yeah. There was a Facebook group, and I don't know if it finally got shut down, but there was a Facebook group that's exactly what they were doing. They were just sharing paid STL files.
Yeah, I agree, TK. It's out of order. But yeah, it irks me, man, because those guys work really hard on it. And if they're releasing them for free for the community, that's one thing. You know, and if you call them and say, "Look, man, I'm selling this here. I'll give you $3 from every print," and they say, "Yeah, go ahead," or whatever. But you know, I don't know. I just don't know. How much do I spend a year on blue and orange filament? 3D G-Dad. I guess that's 3D Granddad. I'll have to ask you what my favorite color is. See if you can guess.
I know what it is.
Hey, and anybody that's in the country club that even says it, I'm going to be upset. It's not Chris's favorite color, and it's not Glenn's either.
Not as much as Glenn on yellow. Actually, you'd be surprised how little money I spend on yellow filament.
Right?
People love to give me yellow filament. I end up having to buy all the other colors.
Oh wait, I can give you a hint what my favorite color is though. Wait just a second.
John, the German 3D printing nerd, is in the house.
Let me give you a hint what my favorite color is. That's my favorite color.
That is a pretty
Right
impressive spool, I have to say.
It is, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
It's not real though. See how easy he picks it up? It's just one. Yeah. It's just one wrap of filament on the outside. The rest of it's toilet paper.
No, 3D Granddad. It's not just red, white, and blue. Now that's my favorite flag colors. I will tell you that from till the day I die. But there was also, he said there was, Andrew S. said there was a song about wearing it, but I think there was a song about rain that had mine in it. That would be more mine.
Chocolate rain?
No.
Chocolate rain.
Not your favorite movie.
That one in a while.
I've never heard that song. It must be really old.
Oh, come on.
I've never heard it.
Then you have to go look it up. Make sure you watch the video of it, though. I mean, the guy is actually talented. The song was a little weird, but
it's weird to. It's just weird hearing the voice coming out of that guy.
Yeah. His voice doesn't fit his body.
No.
It was purple.
I don't know if you guys. So this is old school YouTube, but we were sitting around talking the other day, and I don't know when you guys started watching YouTube, but I was pretty early on, I would guess. But these videos are like 12 years old. But have you ever watched Chad Vader?
No.
He's like a grocery store night manager or day manager or something, but he's dressed in the Darth Vader suit, and he's like, he'll walk around, to the checkout, like, Julie has been eating your lunch, and it's one of the best things ever put on YouTube. It's great.
It is still freaking hot in here.
So Mitch S wants to know when of you two knuckleheads are going to print the Molbot. He actually said 3 knuckleheads, but I don't even know what the Molbot is. So
as soon as I get over the turmoil that I've had with the Snappy.
When I get to a free spot in my project release.
So the Molbot is a printer?
Yeah, it's a 3D printed printer, even with the printed belts.
Yeah, I don't need any more printers.
Okay, all you suppliers out there heard that from Glenn. Y'all send all your printers to me instead of Glenn.
Yeah, I have a very short list of printers that I would accept at this point. But I am actually going to start. I don't know if I'm gonna decline them, but I may take them with the full intent on giving them to somebody else.
I actually have 2 here. I think I'm going to give away to one to my nephew and niece, and then one to somebody else. Because other than just being here, I don't think I'm ever going to use them. Maybe the one for Maker Fairs, but I'm not sure.
Well, I have that Tronxy X1 that I built, and then I went back and rebuilt it so that it's decent. Right. And I never printed with it again because I don't have a need for it. So I'm going to I think that one's going to my local library. I think they could get some good use out of it.
I'm actually thinking about once I get everything situated the way I want it, and I get the MK3 running, the Bear running, the TiVo running like I want it to be running again. I might actually do a special giveaway for some orange and blue machines. Those might actually go off one of these days.
Yeah.
That might be my 10,000 subscriber giveaway if I ever get there.
Well, I gave away the Robo, and it just hasn't made it over to him yet. Because I want to try to put the screen on it for him. And then he's got a Raspberry Pi that we're going to set up with an Octopi setup.
Will I swip to Sweden? I will, as long as it's shipping paid by somebody else. I will ship it there.
Glenn, just say to the suppliers, just put $1,000 in my PayPal and I'll consider it.
Oh, there you go.
No, I mean, like Easy 3D sent me the Nano, which is actually sitting over on the FK1, and it's a cute little printer, and it's actually got my wife now intrigued and thinking about getting into 3D printing because it's so easy to use. So that one I was going to give away, but now it'll probably end up to be hers. And then I got the Tina 2 from Guido, which I haven't even printed with it yet. We unboxed it and set it up, and I haven't even printed with it yet because Murph got in the way.
Right.
And so once I figure out how well that prints and what it can do, it'll likely find a different home.
You know, Sean Gould, that might be a good giveaway for Patreon, but it would have to be patrons that have been there for longer than, a week.
You'll have to be a Patreon for at least 3 months at $100 or higher.
Wow.
Uh, 3DG Dad, if that is for me, technically yes, my boys both have printers. They have all of these. They are welcome to use all of this stuff anytime they want.
Now, question though. Question.
Yeah.
Do you want them in there doing it by themselves right now?
Well, not Zach. Just because of his age, but
Correct.
I wouldn't have any problem with Xander doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Xander was running the FK1 for me in early testing days, and he did make a mistake and home the printer with a failed print on the bed, and it crashed. But he'll never do it again. Right. I mean, lesson was learned, and we move on. So I only threw him down the stairs twice that day.
Hey, I just got that picture of those bear claw things. I need the STL. I don't need a damn picture.
You have to model them yourself.
Oh, no, I'm out. I tried some modeling the other day. I was sitting there and the grand youngin was on the floor, and I was thinking of something to model, and I started modeling, and then I got lost, and I'm like, oh, wait, undo. Oh, wait, no, don't. Well, oh, crap. So I quit. Well, the thing is, Tristan, the two that I'm talking about giving away are the two that I printed, and I'm seriously thinking about giving them away. But it will have to be at a special occasion. It won't be like just doing it to do it. I still haven't seen Juan Adams. I still owe him a spaceship. He was supposed to come to Murph, and I don't think he came. And I haven't seen him in the chat since that giveaway.
Huh.
And he never sent his address, but he said he was going to be at Murph, and then
I don't
nothing.
think he was at. I don't remember seeing him.
Nope.
No, he was at Murph and Earth last year.
Right. But I'm just saying I haven't seen him back in the chat since then, so I hadn't been able to get his address. I've still got his ship and book in the thing here. And
maybe he got tired of 3D printing, got boring, moved on.
Oh yeah, moved on.
Now he's into fishing for catfish.
He's into catfishing now. Oh, Sean Gould said Tuesday. That's pretty special, especially if you like tacos.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, they haven't seen you in a while, Chris. What are you doing? Are you trying to get that to print or what?
Yeah, it's doing some really weird stuff.
He's back there browsing Facebook on his phone.
I see him. You know, Chris is on Facebook. He just trolls everybody. He doesn't actually say anything ever. He doesn't send out friend requests. So if your page is not open to the public and no security whatsoever, then Chris will never see anything you do. So you need to go now and open up your page to everybody.
No, then he'd never see anything that I do because I don't accept friend requests. I have like 400 friend requests on Facebook that I've never responded
I don't
to.
even want to hear it. I'm calling Glenn on the phone for like half a day, and then he finally answers. He goes, "I was trying to figure out who was calling me from an 850 area code." I'm like, "How many friends you got from 850?"
I didn't know where 850 was.
Chris
I was
knows exactly
I
who
was
it is.
driving down the highway at that point.
Chris knows exactly who it is. Like, I'm not talking to him now.
So
He sends me a text, and he's like, "I'll get back to you in a little bit." And then 4 days later, "Hey man, what'd you want?"
That is a little bit for me.
I downloaded this app called RoboKiller, and it's a pay app. You get 7 days free trial, and then it's like $35 a year or whatever. But you can have it answer your calls for you with like a joke type, so like there's one that the guy just like, he goes, "Hello? Oh, can you hang on for just a second? I got somebody on the other line." And then it just leaves the person sitting there and it records it and you get to listen. And it is the funniest thing ever. But the sad part is it does such a great job at blocking calls. My phone doesn't ring anymore.
Right.
But that is a great, if you get a lot of spam calls, I couldn't recommend that app enough.
I wish they made one for the home phone.
That's non-affiliate right there. Who still has a home phone?
I
Gosh.
do. I still got a party line.
Your phone number's like, what was it, like Dixon 52?
Yeah, mine's Spring Creek 123. Every time I get on, I'm like, "Ethel, get off the damn phone. I need to call somebody."
Yeah, the neighborhood we moved into when we first moved out into St. Cloud, Florida, which is down around Disney for those who you don't know. The neighborhood was so far in the middle of nowhere that you could only get a party line. They only had a certain number of lines to the neighborhood, and they were getting too many houses out there. So luckily for me, I ended up on a party line with a friend of mine, so it wasn't really a big deal. But if I wanted to call him, I'd have to call our number and hang up.
Right.
And wait for it to stop ringing and then pick it up and hope that they were still on the other side.
All right.
1-800-CREEPY-SWAMP-DUDE.
3D Granddad, I don't know where your hometown is, but if it's North Florida, then I'm probably pretty close to it. Yeah, 1-800-CREEPY-SWAMP-DUDE. That's me. An old school red phone. I'm going to tell y'all right now, we have a touch tone phone that sits on top of the refrigerator. Or it did. It doesn't now because we moved the cabinet. Oh, yeah. You ain't far. About 2.5 hours. But the other way from Glenn. But we have a regular push button plug in phone with a cord on it so that when the power goes out, we can still make phone calls.
Right. You on Todd said, "I have no idea what a party line is."
Who said that?
You on Todd? So back in the day, back in Walter's day, you could save money by sharing a phone line between multiple houses. My neighborhood, it was just two. It was 2 houses per phone line. So when the phone would ring, it would ring into both houses. So if house A answered the phone, but it was for somebody in house B, you had to say to the person, "I'll hang up, call them back, and I won't answer." And then it would ring to the house. It was really annoying. And then I guess the technology changed at some point. Like it was a single ring or a double ring.
Right.
Depending on which home you were in. But we didn't have that.
Yeah. And now they can just spoof any number they want to.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I the other day I'm driving down the road, my phone's up there playing, Sirius XM for me. I got the radio playing, and this guy calls me. He goes, "You just called me?" I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "Well, this number just called me." I said, "Nope." He said, "Are you sure you didn't call me?" I said, "Well, I was listening to the radio through my phone, and you interrupted me. So, nope, I didn't call you."
Yeah.
"Sorry, bud." He's like, "Well, this is the number. I just hit redial."
Yeah, I built a computer years ago that would let me spoof caller ID, but the timing had to be perfect on it every time you did it, or it would show. So like you'd try to to spoof your number. Like I called a friend of mine as though it was coming from the White House, but if the timing didn't hit right, it would come through with your regular caller ID.
Imagination to form is absolutely correct. Cell towers only have charge for so long. Landlines will continue running after the cell phones towers quit.
Yeah, but even the phone port, the phone stations will die after a while.
They will, but they still last longer than cell towers. Robert Vline said he still has a landline and no cell phone. Let me tell you, I bet that is a freeing existence.
I got rid of my home phone. I don't even know how many years ago now, but because people would call my home, I wouldn't answer. They would then call my cell phone.
Right.
And back then, you paid whether you answered or not.
Right.
So then I would answer the phone. I thought, this is stupid. I'm just going to get rid of the home phone and just let them. My first cell phone, which was paid for by my company that I worked for, was $7 a minute. And I would get yelled at every time I used it. It's like, why did you give it to me then?
Yeah, see, and Casa del Huacos is right. The cell towers here are battery backup, and they'll run about 3 days on their battery backups or generators or whatever, but that's it. That's it. That's what they have. And Imagination to Form says, but cell towers only have charge for so long. And that's correct. In 2006, when Hurricane Dennis came through here, we were without power for 9 days, which is, in the scheme of things, isn't that bad when you think of some of the hurricanes that have gone through, but it was still 9 days.
Right.
And it gets expensive running generators. We have a gas generator. Now, even a propane generator running your house for 9 days, that can get expensive too if you're trying to get propane in, but there's no way to get to you.
Absolutely.
So, there's give and take for all of it. Am I a little bit of a prepper? I don't know. The 12 cases of MREs in there probably would say no. No, I don't know. Me prep? No.
He's not a prepper. He's just really worried about being hungry.
I'm just not going to be hungry for long.
I prep. I go out the day before the storm and clean up all the loose debris in my yard and get, so it doesn't blow around. That's my prep.
Yeah, right. Well, it's how much beer in the back. I don't drink that much beer, D. Don't get me wrong. Now, I will sit down and I will imbibe some fermented liquid. I'm not going to lie and say that I won't drink anything, but it's few and far between that I do. Matter of fact, the most I've drank in 6 years was at Murph, waiting on Chris to come through the hotel lobby, and he snuck in the back door. I do not have an amateur radio license. No. I looked into getting one, and I'm like, nah, it's not my calling. I got friends that have them.
No, that becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I will tell y'all, I live in a county that has a STHF plan. Really, the county here has a plan in case all bridges are compromised and everything else in the county. It's really cool to get to sit in on that level of preparedness for your county. If he does come down, Jesse Foreman, if y'all come down, I'm gonna tell anybody right now, if y'all come to Disney on a weekend, it no longer costs me money for Disney tickets. I can meet you at Disney and we can go. It costs me gas money to get there, but my wife will go every time I say, hey, we're going to Disney this weekend. She will say, okay. And I won't get any flack about it. So Tristan said, Walter sits next to the generator and says a gallon for you and a gallon for me. But no,
you used to have to get a license to operate CB radios as well. Yep. That is true. That was way back in the early 70s that they stopped that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. When we were in high school, that was our get-together cell phones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Us too.
Everybody had CDs.
I had a base station at the house, and I had one in my car, and it was all modded out, and it had extra buttons on it to play goofy sounds, and oh yeah, it was
the 40s.
the 40s.
Dang.
And Chris is in on the old joke.
Coming in from the backfield.
Chris,
man joke.
Now wipe that wet crap from behind your ears, boy. Now we used to, like, when we would like cruise up and down the strip or whatever, and then cars would start peeling off, so you'd turn on your CB and they'd be like, okay, party down 267 or whatever, you know. And that's the way we kept in touch with everybody. And then the cops figured out what frequencies we were on, so we all had to start putting crystals in our radios so we could get those sidebands.
Yeah. Single sideband radio. That's mine did that.
So,
in fact, I still have that thing around here somewhere. It was I want to say it was like a Ranger 2940, or it was a really fancy radio. I traded a car to get it.
You traded a car for a radio?
Yep. I had a car. I got a new car. I wanted the radio. Traded the car for the radio.
Well, I am torn between trying to sell my daughter's car or trading it in. But as long as they will give me the down payment I got to have on the car that I'm looking at, then I don't care. It'll be fine.
Breaker on the side. What's your handle?
Oh, Bob S. said that Chris had an old joke 5 hours ago at the start of his build stream, too. What would you call us, Chris?
I don't remember now. I'm sure it was good.
He probably said he had to get some work done before the old guy showed up.
Yeah, I don't remember what we did briefly touch on that, but I can't remember what it was. It wasn't that good, I guess.
Ranger 2940 sounds like a great name for a 3D printer. I think we should just make a food printer and call it the Prepper.
There you go. I like that.
Hey, at least you're not over Roger.
That's a bad day.
Oh, Lord. Everybody's on the CB now.
I don't know what's going on with these Z motors, but something isn't right.
You need more wires.
I think that's the problem. I went and got more wires over there. That's why I stepped away. The driver is also hitting high temp.
Well, let me tell y'all, I found something, and I'm going to get off on food for a second. We had the annual Blue Crab Festival this weekend. There's a buddy of mine over there that makes sauce. It's called Sop Choppy sauce.
Called what?
Sop Choppy sauce. And I'm gonna paste the link in here. Y'all want something good? Go get you some.
Get you
and I'm sorry, this is not sponsored. Sorry, Glenn. Chris is on my channel, so I'm gonna plug his stuff in there. Y'all go check him out.
When have we ever cared?
Oh, I know, but it's not sponsored or anything like that. But I had never tasted the sauce. A couple of my buddies had told me about it, and he tried to get me to get some, but I was like $8 a bottle, man. I can't do that, you know. That's kind of high. Man, I went over there and put some on a cracker the other day. I'm like, yeah, give me a bottle of that. That's good. That's going to be good on pork chops. That's going to be good on oysters. It's going to be good on chicken. Don't you touch my friggin' steak, but it'll be good on pretty much everything else. I don't know. Are y'all adverse to steak sauce?
Not on my steak.
You like steak sauce on your steak?
I like steak sauce on my hamburgers.
Oh.
But I don't put sauce on my steak. I refuse to ruin. If I have to put steak sauce on a steak, I won't eat that steak. That's a bad cut of meat if you got to sauce that up.
Well, that's either that or it's just prepared wrong. It could be a good cut of meat and just not seasoned at all. But if I ever owned a restaurant and my waitress just walked over and said, "What type of steak sauce would you like?" they'd get fired. If the customer asks for it, that's different. But don't go trying to put sauce on my steak.
Steak sauce is only used on a ruined steak.
There you go, you and Todd.
You ever had meatloaf with steak sauce on top? That's good.
Meatloaf?
Yeah.
I've never had meatloaf with steak sauce on top.
Oh, I put A1 sauce inside of meatloaf.
Yeah.
I like to mix the A1 in with the hamburgers before you cook them. Mitch H wants to know if he buys that radio, the Ranger RCI 2950, could we chat up a storm on the good old radio waves? I don't think so anymore. I don't even have an antenna for mine anymore. But
well, see, and Jesse Foreman talks about Moore's and Dale's sauce, marinating steak. I don't like marinated steaks. I like my piece of meat with salt and pepper on it.
Yeah, salt and pepper, and then the Kroger grocery stores, which we don't have down here. They have a steak seasoning that I'd get my mom to send it to me, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's got salt and pepper and paprika and a couple other things in it, and that's fantastic. So you lay the meat out for a little bit before you cook it. You know, let it warm up in the room a little bit before you grill it, and then coat it with that steak seasoning, and then I rub it down with olive oil before I throw it onto the grill. And
I'll do some salt and pepper and maybe some garlic powder and some smoked paprika or something on it if I'm frying it. But if I'm grilling a steak, it's just straight up salt and now it's fresh cracked pepper and fresh ground salt too. I don't use like table salt.
Yeah.
But somebody said something on here. Hold on. Where was that?
I found my problem if anybody's interested.
Oh, Jake from State Farm is talking sacrilege in our stream. He said oysters are yuck.
I agree.
Oysters are the snot of God.
I don't like anything that tastes fishy.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oysters and clam are both very fishy.
Well, any fresh seafood is fishy.
Andrew S. says, my fiance says it's always about this time you talk about food. You need a box of Shreddies, whatever those are, near you as you keep making her hungry.
I don't know what Shreddies are, but hey, I'm going to tell you right now, my daughter invited us over for fried pork chops tonight. I'm taking that salt choppy sauce with me. And they can't have none, not at $8 a bottle. They're not getting a drop.
It makes me feel good that we're a family show.
Why is that?
They got wives watching with their husbands.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Oh no, it's right on that line, Michael Fox, between rare and medium rare. That's where I like my steak cooked. 3D Maker Kid said all seafood equals bad. That's just wrong, man.
Yeah, you know, some of the best seafood I ever had was in Fort Walton Beach. We had gone into this little restaurant right on the water, and you got this platter. They brought out this platter, and some of the biggest prawn I've ever eaten. It was really good. That was a long time ago, though. I don't even know where it was.
Chris, are you zeroing in on what's wrong with the Z-axis yet?
Yeah, I had a bad stepper driver.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while.
Plugged in a new one and it worked?
Yeah, they actually gave me, they populated the board with both extruder drivers, so I just used the one for the secondary extruder, and it started working.
I thought you were going to say they included an extra or a second set.
That's what I thought too. Frosted Weetabix square. Oh, frosted mini wheats. They're Shreddies.
Oh,
Shreddies.
Those are frosted mini wheats, Andrew S. And they are fantastic. If you get a glass of milk, you just pop them. You don't have to put them in a bowl with milk. Just pop them and drink. Yeah, there you go.
Well, that one almost got me. The stepper driver was so bad off, it was turning the motor in the opposite direction.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? Why is it doing that?
Was it not just plugged in backwards?
They won't work that way.
Won't work at all?
No, they'll just blow up most of the time.
Oh.
Because
No,
of
but what about
the voltage pin. But,
well, I guess if you change the stepper driver and it works, then the wiring to the motor is right.
yeah. Yeah, everything's working as I would expect it at the moment. So that's a weird one. I haven't seen that one in a while. Only here at Chris's basement.
Shreddies knitted by Nana. That was a ad in the UK. RCNC said magic smoke.
No smoke.
No smoke.
Bennett wants to know, does anyone know why I'm not able to connect with Octoprint to my Raspberry Pi, and when I do, the prints take 2 times as long and look 2 times worse?
He mentioned that earlier today, and I came up with nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing on that either.
Why am I not able to connect with Octoprint to my Raspberry Pi? God, there's so many questions I could come from this. Has it ever worked right to begin with?
Yeah, because sometimes the octoprint.local doesn't work.
Yeah, but he's saying that he's unable to connect with Octoprint to his Raspberry Pi.
Right. I think he's putting in octoprint.local and he can't get to his Raspberry Pi that way.
Well, I know that he had asked Xander the other day to ask me what I used on my phone, which I use Octo Remote on my phone. There's so many more questions I can go with that, Bennett. I'm now able to connect. Okay, well, I'm glad that we can work that problem out for you.
Next problem.
He can connect.
Next in line, please.
Chris, why were you caulking your Z screws?
I like to seal them up real tight.
All right.
Little depth tub and tile cock there.
Yeah. Our TV works on everything.
Hi, Paul.
Matt Davenport asks, has he checked his USB cables for crosstalk? I doubt it, Matt Davenport. I'm just going to jump out on a limb there and say I doubt it.
But now for it to take twice as long to print and look twice as bad, are you slicing it on the Octopi or are you slicing it and sending it over?
He said he was slicing in Cura and sending it over via Cura.
Huh.
I would try dragging and dropping because the Cura to Octopi is a third-party plugin. And if I'm not mistaken, it's still in beta.
Right. What's up, Paul Cumber?
Yeah, I would try dragging it over and see if that makes a difference. Because there are no settings inside of Octoprint as far as your printer goes that would affect that. The 2 times as long if the feed rate was set low, but that wouldn't affect how it looks when it comes out. No mailbag Monday, Paul. I've been kind of avoiding the mailbag Mondays.
Tony Ryan, be nice. Not the ID10T error.
Yeah, and for anybody in the chat that doesn't know, Bennett is 12 or 13 years old. So
no, save the G code to your hard drive, Bennett, and then drag it to Octoprint on the web interface. Look, Brian Vines decided to grace us with his presence.
Brian with a Y and Vines with an I.
Ryan with a B.
Ryan with a capital B.
Is that kind of like Vines with a V?
Yeah.
What What SD card are you using in there, Bennett? Like, what is the rating on the SD card? I'm wondering if it's a slow SD card, would that cause the problem?
Could be. Bryce Schwartzwelder says baud rate issues, but I don't think it's a baud rate issue across the USB. I mean, if it's USB now, it could be if it's even Wi-Fi. I don't think it's a baud rate issue.
Yeah, but it's going to be USB between the Pi and the printer.
True.
But when it connects, I mean, if it's connecting it should be connecting at 115 too?
Yeah. He said he believes it's a Samsung Evo.
You know, that should be rated fast enough.
Now, I did see something Chris needs to get and check out for me, and that was that Atomic Pi.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
No. What's that one about?
It's an x86.
Ooh, there you go.
It's twice the size of a Pi, but it's a single board x86. It uses an Atom processor.
Is it pretty pricey?
$35.
Oh wow.
That's
we
not bad.
gotta get a couple of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you can find them.
Asus is making a micro board computer too. I can't
It's
remember
like-
what the
I think it's like $89 though.
probably, but I mean it's like a full-fledged. I think my battery's dying in my keyboard.
Yeah, it's not even listed on Amazon anymore. They took it down.
Which one?
The Atomic Pi. They were just about out. Yeah, it's out of stock everywhere. Office Depot has that's the Asus. The Asus Tinkerboard, Glenn, is the one I think you're thinking of. It's $59.
Yep, $60.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Kickstarter, but they already delivering the board.
Okay.
Yeah, the Asus one is a ARM-based processor. Rock chip
Yeah.
RK3288.
Which is a pretty good processor. Yeah, D. But the Kickstarter is still going, and you can still buy the $34 Kickstarter, and they will send you one. It is Chris Gulata, but it's in the size of a little bitty board. So you can run like Chris's Octoprint on Windows 10. You can run multiple and have a wireless into a Windows 10 box or something like that.
Yeah, with a fully headless machine that doesn't require fans to run and
Right.
it's sad when your operating system costs more than your whole computer does, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have that issue since I have a MSDN subscription.
Well, I mean, Windows 10, you don't ever have to activate it. You can install Windows 10 and never activate it. You just can't. You can't customize the appearance of it, like the start bar and stuff. Certain things it won't let you change, and then you get that little nag screen message down in the corner.
Later, Andrew. Glenn Hogue, I'm not saying you would want Windows 10 overhead on an SBC. You can run Linux on it if you like. As a matter of fact, you can run Android PC or whatever it is on it. Run whatever you want. But, you know, it just seemed to me to be a pretty good board for the price. You know, an x86 for $35 is a good price because then you can just build a PC directly out of that, you know. somebody asked a question on Facebook yesterday. One of my wife's cousins, she was like, "Okay, I need a truck to pull my fifth wheel. Should I get a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge?" And I wrote him back and I said, "Just pick the one you like, because you're fixing to get every answer in the book."
Oh,
said,
yeah.
It's kind of like saying, "Okay, should I buy an Android or an iPhone?" I mean, you're going to get fanboys both ways, or whatever you want to call them. It's just like Linux and Windows. I would rather run Windows. I have no problems with Windows 10 whatsoever.
Oh, I would rather run Linux. It's getting all of my applications to work.
See, and I would not. I like Windows 10 better. Just do. So, it just one of those things. It is what you like, you know. Everybody always fusses at me. Well, why don't you do Apple? I'm like, because when I started developing for mobile, Apple would only pay you once every 3 months. Plus, you had to pay a fee for every application.
Right.
And Android, you could write as many applications as you want. They paid you once a month, and it was $30 for as many applications as you wanted to put in the store. Yeah, Coke or Pepsi, you're right. But it's always Pepsi, of course. It's kind of like Crystals and that other place.
Don't go there.
Crystals.
Don't even start that.
It's always Crystals. I worked on Unix for 5 years at Walmart. I'm not a fan. Sorry, I'm just not a fan. Now, if that's your business, if that's your line of business and that's what you need, then do it.
No, I have 2 Linux machines here in the house, and I administrate 2 remote, and they're just rock solid.
Yeah. Oh, and that, no doubt, man. I mean, when I bought my first little cloud hard drive back when they first started doing that in-house cloud thing where you could get them from outside and all that stuff, it was all Linux based. The whole thing was a Linux computer inside a little box. It's perfect for that. And it's perfect for a lot of things. But that's just like editing videos and stuff. It works better on a Mac if you're using Adobe stuff. Or it used to. I don't know if it still does or not.
Atomic Pi, $35.71 from Digital Loggers Incorporated.
Yep. Robbie Mac says Windows 98 SE for the win. Well, if you're going to go there, man, we're going to go Windows Millennium Edition. Tops that one.
The only thing that beats Windows Me was Vista.
Now, I don't even think Vista was as bad as the Me release, man.
Oh, no way. Vista sucked so bad.
Vista did.
So many problems.
It's like, what was the server version? There was a Windows Server version that was compatible. It was like the Vista release.
I believe that was the Microsoft Kick in the Nuts server.
Yeah, right? Whatever it was, yeah.
Oh.
Jay Hughes, FTW means for the win.
Yeah. Bryce Schwartzwelder said Windows 3.1. Well, actually, 3.1.1 for work groups was better. You could at least network then.
Well, if you needed the network capability, right. Yeah, I remember when DOS, I was running DOS 5 and DOS 6.0 came out. And my mom had bought it, and she was so excited, so she installs it on my computer, and then she's telling me about this double space program where it doubles your hard drive space. Yeah. It also trashes all your data.
Well, Fred Greer, Windows Server 2008 was pretty much rock solid, and Vista was not. So, I don't think it was the 2008 release version of the server. It was the one before. I think it was the Millennium Edition when they tried to split it off and make it one operating system that did both, depending on what you installed with it. There you go. Tony Ryan says, time to prep the pork chops for the win. WTF.
All right, I got it done in less than 7 hours.
Less than 7 hours. Man, you are the man. The Chris Riley is printing a damn benchy after less than 7 hours.
Brian Bynes, I think it was called Double Space. I think was the name of DOS's version of it.
Oh, this doubler, and then you had the what was the RAM doublers too, man?
Yeah, Mem Maker.
Yeah, Mem Maker. Well, was it Mem Maker?
See, when I started in PCs, I think I was on DOS 5, and I did a bunch of research and digging and stuff and figured out how to, because my first PC had 8 megabytes of RAM. That's megabytes. And everybody said I was crazy to put that much memory in there, that I couldn't use over 4 megs.
Right.
And I did it anyway. And then I did a bunch of research to figure out how to load as much stuff high. And I actually figured out how to, this is going to go way back old school. I figured out how to load Command Com high. You actually had to, like at boot, it would load Command Com. Then I would load a version of Command Com high and unload the lower Command Com. And it opened up a huge amount of working RAM. And then all of a sudden, 6.0 came out with Mem Maker, and then,
Well, see, I was building PCs back in 94-ish, 3-ish, 4-ish. And that's when AMD came out with the math code processor that you could put in to add on to your Intel machine.
Right.
And then you had the Citrix one that came out as well. I don't know if you remember Citrix chips or not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Citrix.
Yeah, but they had it was really cool. I remember having Intel chips, and then you could take an add-on board and add a Citrix processor to it, and it would like boost the speed of it was just a speed booster for your Intels, all it was. And I've got some of those. I've got some servers in my shed that are running Windows Server prior to 2000, prior to when they changed it to Windows 2000. I forgot the server. What was the server version then? But I've got some servers out there that are running all SCSI. They got the big wide, the wide SCSI plugs on the back, bunches of them.
The old 50 pin.
Oh, yeah.
Here's an original Intel Pentium.
Sweetness.
I keep that by my desk to, remind me where I came from. My first PC was a 486. I sprung for the DX, so mine had the math coprocessor built into it. But that bad boy ran at 33 megahertz. And what was really, really awesome was to play some of the games, I had to turn off the turbo mode and run it down to the, 16.77 megahertz.
Right.
So I remember that you'd run into those games that you couldn't play them because they were too fast.
It was just so fast.
Yeah.
That's how bad my memory is. Yeah, it was Windows NT.
Windows NT, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Because, it's been 19 years since that, remember?
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, it was Cyrix or Cyrix, not Citrix. My bad. I said it wrong. But you're right. It was CYRIX was the chip.
First PC was in 8086. That's actually what I learned on in college, was 8086s and 8088s.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. My first PC that I ever owned, my first PC got through the correspondence course where you could learn to be a locksmith or a computer programmer or a house inspector or whatever. I took the computer programming course and paid just long enough to get my computer. And then once they sent me the computer, I took the courses.
Yeah, no, I paid a small fortune for mine. I had it custom built, but and that was back when every PC was that nasty cream off-white color, and I paid extra to have mine put into a black case with a black monitor and a black keyboard. And the only thing that you couldn't get in black was the CD-ROM drive. So I had a cream-colored CD-ROM drive. But I paid $500 for my first CD-ROM drive. because there was only two you could get, a Mitsumi and a Plex store, and the Plex store was like $1,500, and it required the caddy. You had to have the caddy for that one. So, but I still have that CD-ROM drive. I will never get rid of that.
Uncle Ron came in with ICS, and it's funny that he says that because ICS was the first name of the first company I ever had that was mine that I wrote software with. That was in '94 when I was doing websites. It was ICS was the name of my company. It was Integrated Computer Software. That was the name of my company. So
there's a lot of gold in those old chips.
Oh,
yeah, I have some of the Pentium 2s. I have the Pentium 2, a Pentium 3. I don't know. I have a stack of them.
All of the servers out there, Glenn, are all Pentium 2s and Pentium 3s.
Yeah.
Some of them I think some of them have 2 Pentium 3s in them. But
most I have a couple of dual. I have a dual P2 machine and a dual P3 machine that, honestly, if I plugged them in, they would probably boot up. Yeah, but it's been a long time.
The servers that I have in my server rack now are Intel. They're quad Intel Xenons. So each server, I've got 5 servers in that rack over there of that type, and each one of them is 26 cores with 98 gigabytes of RAM.
Nice.
But they are loud. My God, they are loud.
Oh yeah, I have that Dell. It's a single U rack mount server.
Yeah.
And when that thing fires up, it sounds like a jet plane taking off. In fact, let's experience that now, shall we?
Sure, why not?
Let's experience that together, shall we?
I mean, first of all, this thing weighs a metric ton.
Oh yeah, mine are all 2U units, so yeah. With redundant power supplies and all that stuff in them.
Yeah, this has got the hole for the redundant, but I don't have the second power supply. I bought this to be a media server for the house, and then when I plugged it in and heard it,
yeah,
I bought a different server.
Well, see, I had mine because all of mine were they ran my mobile software that I made money off of for a few years, and I had everything set up in failover clusters. You know, the SQL server would all fail over. So would the websites and all that stuff. Plus, I ran my media server off of them because it had to be running.
What's that? What'd you say?
Yeah. You don't have to tell me, brother. I know exactly what you mean. And, you know, the bad thing is that's on spin up and they are a little louder, but they don't get a lot quieter when they calm down.
No, it doesn't. Well, the thing runs hot because it's such a small case. So it runs warmer than I'd like. So those fans just crank all the time. I tried to sell that thing on eBay, but nobody wanted to pay the shipping.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, I could probably sell my motherboards and RAM and processors for as much as I paid for each one of those, but people don't want to pay for shipping. And then you get scammers that say, well, this board was bad. Well, it come out of a running server.
Right.
You know? So.
Yeah, I think I paid like $75 or $80 for that from University of Florida.
Yeah.
And like, it's so clean inside, you could eat off of it. It's never been used. I ran it long enough to install Linux on it and start to get the media server put on there, and then I couldn't take the noise.
Yeah.
Like it would make me rage. Because I had it sitting where I am. It sits right over here where my server rack is, and then I sit around the corner. I just couldn't take the noise. It was just
that's why I built the box that mine are in, and I built it so that it was open on the back, and I could slide it completely against the wall where a window unit air conditioner was sitting.
Okay. And
see, that window unit air conditioner never cut off. That's why my light bill was running $500 to $600 a month.
Wow.
Because it would never stop.
Right.
Plus, you've got 7 servers running 1,500 watt power supplies nonstop. I mean, it's a lot of power that it takes. How are we doing on the benchy, Christopher?
We're about 10% done.
Is it looking okay?
Yeah, it looks all right. No, nothing real drastic going on in there.
Man, once again, Chris has gotten something done on our stream, and we did not.
No, I did absolutely nothing. I've really, I almost hate to admit this publicly, but I have really been lacking 3D printing motivation since
Well,
March.
I will tell you, Murph will take it out of you.
It did. Well, and then it's like there's so much stuff that I need to do to the FK1, but until I can get parts, and again, like if the lead screws or the ball screws are not available this week, I think I'm just going to abandon it and go to just regular 8mm Acme lead screws. But right. I mean, it's a shame because that's like $70 worth of ball screws on there that we'll have to find a different project for. But I mean, I need to get some work done on that thing. I want it to print.
Well,
and not that it doesn't, but I want it to level.
Man. But yeah, I'm not going to be back on until next Sunday with our stream. I think Chris is up, right, Chris?
What's that?
I think you're up next Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be correct.
Yep.
And the following Sunday is Glenn, and then the following Sunday is supposed to be me, but I will not be home. So we will probably bounce back to Chris. I don't think I'll be able. That's the 25th, I think it is. We are on the 5th. The 12th will be Chris. The 19th will be Glenn. And then the 26th is supposed to be me again. I will probably not be back in my humble abode by that time on that day. So we will bounce it to whoever is available to take it. And I will be joining you from a moving vehicle, I'm sure.
Ronnie, Julian, the length of the ball screws that are on there right now are 800mm, but it's taller than they're longer than it needs to be. If I replace them all now with lead screw, I'm going to go to the 650mm that they're supposed to be. I was going to make the printer taller to match the ball screws, but then I won't have to. I'm waiting on the company I bought these from. I got them for $35 a piece, which is really hard to beat, and they're great quality. So I've been waiting on the same company to get them back in stock here in the States. But
well, I have to say it's amazing that we have made it 2 hours, and there are still 104 people watching this lovely stream of ours. We had a peak concurrent today of 132 people.
Awesome.
That's
Justin,
cool.
they're not giving me the ball screws aren't giving me any issue. It just I need 4 because I'm going to an auto leveling setup, and so I need to add 2 more to it. But I do have Z wobble, but I can't see that. I can't imagine that that's where it's coming from because my carriage doesn't move.
Tristan, 103. He just fell asleep. Chris never prints a benchy. They want to see it. Well, you know, Chris can go back live streaming because he does that rogue every now and again.
It's not the most awesome benchy in the whole world.
Now, Chris, though, what would you attribute that to, though?
What's that?
What would you attribute that to?
Well, there's no part cooling fan for one.
Well, yeah, I mean, that, okay. So, yeah. Damn, Jesse Foreman, I need that. Sorry.
The lead screws being 5mm doesn't help anything either.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Jesse Foreman told me to check out his Facebook page and look at his maker space.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that much space in a townhouse, dude? I have no idea how you do that. Because I've got a 31-foot camper and I don't have that much. Well, I don't have that much organizational skills either. So, but Glenn ran off, and it's time for us to get out of here. We got to do.
I've been on online for 7 hours, so I'm pretty ready for some food.
Yeah.
I was just digging through antique computer hardware.
Oh. Later, Paul Cumber.
I like to keep all the old stuff laying around. Reminds me of Walter.
Anyway, all right, Glenn, you're first with outros, buddy.
All right, everybody, I'm Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D, and I thank you guys greatly for joining us today. These streams are always a lot of fun, and we enjoy you guys being here. I can be found pretty much everywhere at funking3d.com. It's been a little quiet around here lately. We have not produced a lot of content. In fact, lately, we haven't produced any at all. But I do have a list of some stuff coming. I have a new segment coming up that I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is yet because I want to film like 2 months worth before I release it. But do watch for that. There will be more FK1 video coming super soon because I've got to get moving on that. Other than that, if you want to know where these streams are, funinthecountry.com will always tell you where the weekly stream is. That's it for me.
Yes, I am Chris Riley. YouTube/Chris Riley. I am on Twitter, Chris Riley 3D. If you'd like to follow me over there. Occasionally I will post something, printed on Twitter, but most of the time it's just harassing the people that I love. This has been a long day. I did get this printer printing. The build was kind of but we'll look more at that later. We'll figure that out eventually. But the Sunday streams are always fun. Fun in the Country Basement is a good time. Yes, funinthecountry.basement.com. I will be hosting next week. And thank you very much for everyone that hung out today. There's some of you that have been here the whole day. So much appreciated. And I'm sure we'll see you next week.
All right, I'm Walter, and this is Kuntry 3D. You've been watching Fun in the Country Basement. Check it out, funcountrbasement.com. That's where all updates and everything Fun Country Basement will be given to you in a timely manner. I want to thank Chris and Glenn for being here today. I know that last week it was Glenn's birthday, and I tried to be there as much as I could. Wasn't that last weekend? That was last weekend.
That was last weekend, and you were here.
I was there, but only at the end, and I'm sorry about that, but I couldn't help it. Well, I could have, but I'd have got divorced. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and we will see you next time on Fun in the Country Basement next Sunday. I am not streaming at all this coming week. Until next Sunday, I will be on the Country Basement on Chris's channel, and we will see you there. Bye, everybody.
Brent on.